Hello everyone, today we've got a video with some browser tips for you which will hopefully help in your workflows. Like many people, I spend an awful lot of time in a browser these days, and more apps seem to be becoming either more feature rich on the browser or browser only. So yeah, I've come up with a particular workflow. I use Microsoft Edge in my day-to-day, so I like Edge because it's multi-platform. I use, as I've mentioned in other videos, I use Windows predominantly, but I also use Macs. I've got Android devices and iOS devices, and it covers most of the bases. I even got Edge installed on my Linux distributions, so it covers all the bases there. It syncs, and as it's Chromium based, I can get all my old Google Chrome extensions out of there, and I've been using it for some time. But I think when I see other people using browsers, they're very much using them the way they've always done. And there's quite a few handy features in there. So today we'll look at some how we go about vertical tabs, creating groups of pages, the read-in functions, the sidebar on the side, and the applications that you can put in there. So I integrate ChatGPT into mine. And hopefully when we combine all these features together, it'll increase our workflow.
Okay, so here we are at the desktop, and let's maximize our web browser. There we go, and we'll have a quick walkthrough so you can see the tabs along the top, which I'm sure everybody's familiar with. You can see my little icon there, which shows I'm logged into my 365 account. I keep fairly sparse screen elements here. So we've got extensions. Edge is Chromium based, so you can use all your Google Chrome extensions on there. We've got the split view, and we've got our favourites. So I keep favourites on the bar, the ones I use the most, and also I've got other favourites there, all in folders, all nicely organised. If you want to tweak this, you can click the three dots there, and there's a settings page there. There's an awful lot of settings in there, so it's worth getting to know some of the names of these features so you can turn them on and off and have a play around with them. And we can also see things like history. So I don't keep history along the top there, but I can easily click on this, or click Control H to find that, or Control J for downloads, that type of thing. So we'll just close that one up there. I have the sidebar opened, so let's figure out how we do that. So click on settings, and then again, I know it's called the sidebar. So I can hit enter there, and as you can see, I've got it selected to always be on, and we'll go through that in a little while. So let's just close our settings and minimize that back down. Excuse me. I've also got the search set up in a way I like it. So I keep my work feed on, so I can see documents that I've been working on down there. It's straight from the browser, and also this is set for Bing. And let's have a look at a quick search. So let's do Microsoft 365 site. And as you can see, the return was brought back by Bing. But if I search up here, and I'll do the same search, Microsoft 365, and the search is returned by Google. So I got the best of both worlds there. To do that, we go into settings again, and they really hide this one away. So privacy, search and services. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll find address bar and search in here. And as you can see there, search engine used in the address bar. So this area here is Google, and then search on new tabs, or the search box is recommended, which will return the Bing results. So let's just close out of those two, minimize that one back. So the first thing we can have a look at here are these groupings, and also where these tabs appear on the screen. So we have a tab actions menu here, and just recently I've been putting them off to the side, so using the vertical tabs. Other browsers are better at vertical tabs than Edge, but it kind of gets the job done. So as you can see here, I've got various groups. So home, spare room, we've been looking at a new chair for our spare room, and that's clicked in there. And obviously I've got the original Google search there. Collaboration, I've got my emails, I've got my calendar open in that area. I've got some training, so I've got OneNote, and in there, more on that in a little while. So to make these groups, we can we'll go into a new tab and we'll open up, say we're going to do some research on Apple Macs. Put MacBook there, and there we go, actually go to the horse's mouth. So we've got the nice shiny new M4 Macs there, and I can open another tab on that and I can maybe see what's happening. I'll look at macrumors.com and see all the latest news. So what have we got there? It's a new updates to Final Cut Pro if you're a Final Cut Pro user. And then if I want to save that, I can add it to a group. So I can add it to the existing groups, or I can make a new group. So we'll call this one, it's already called it Apple. We'll change the colour there to, let's just give it a grey one, and click out, and you can see there that we've got our Apple. And then to add a tab in, we just right click the website, add to group, and then click on Apple. And then when we're done with that, we can just tidy it away, because it might be time to do our emails, in which case we can come over to collaboration and look at our emails. So that's how we operate that there. As I say, you can turn off vertical tabs and they show as normal there, and they open up in the usual way. But I quite like them on vertical tabs, so that's how I'm using them at the moment. Maybe that'll change soon. So let's have a look at our read aloud item there, and we've got a website there on Microsoft added handoff support to Apple devices, which is really cool. We'll maybe do a video on that later on. And you can see there that I've actually been getting Edge to read this website out for me. So the little A icon there, the read aloud icon, is in blue, and you can also see that there's a play button here. So I can just click play there.
Handoff support for Word, Excel and PowerPoint.
And as you can hear, I'll just pause that so we're not talking over each other. It reads out the website, and I find this really handy for information like this. You can see I've got a few websites there, so aggregate. What was this one? Oh yeah, Teams meetings content into a loop workspace. Again, super cool feature. And to activate this, you can do this a few ways. So you can right click and you have the read aloud button there. It's handy to use the right click if you want to start from a certain section. So if I right click here,
at the conclusion of a
it starts. I'll pause that again. It starts from where I actually made the right click. If you're not happy with the voice, you can click up here and you've got voice options, and there are an awful lot of choices of voices. You can also speed it up. So if I know lots of people on Audible read or have the Audible settings at 1.5 times, 2 times even, so they can get through the information more quickly. And I find this a really useful feature. Just while we're here, we've obviously got read aloud there. There's also an immersive reader as well. I don't tend to use that one quite as much, but we'll just click on there. And we get some more options. So reading preferences, text. It removes a lot of the superfluous bits that people put on websites. So I'll just click out of that. And we'll go back to our normal view, and we've also got the favourites button there. And eagle-eyed will notice that you can actually install this as an app in the same way that I've done with ChatGPT on Meta AI here. So yeah, that's a really nice feature of Edge, and I'm sure all the other browsers. So we'll collapse that one back up. So we mentioned earlier that we've got the sidebar activated here, and a couple of features to note here is you can actually add Microsoft 365, and you can see all your various applications there and all your recent documents, so that's quite handy. And this one is super cool. So I'm going to open one of those read aloud pages again. We'll do the branding on there, and say I want to have a look at this. I'm about to leave, so I can copy and I can add the drop functionality, and I can paste this in here and then click send. And then when I open Edge on my mobile device, on my iPad or my iPhone, that note is there. So it's a little bit like AirDrop for Windows, if you're familiar with AirDrop on the Apple devices. And you can transfer pictures. You can see that I've transferred a PDF previously, and it saves this into OneDrive. So if we click that one down and do our drop settings, we can see that's our OneDrive folder, and obviously you can use the QR code there to bring that up. So yeah, another cool feature. Okay, so I'm going to actually change the resolution of the screen for this next bit. Hopefully everything will still be visible okay, because this is a 4K screen. Okay, so I've switched to 4K resolution now, and we'll have a look at a few more features. Hopefully I've maximised the edge as much as I can, so hopefully you can still see this okay. Okay, so let's move over to our collaboration, and we can see our email. As I'm sure everybody's familiar with email, and we've got what we've got here. We've got a Copilot announcement there, and also a virtual training day. Now, as you can see over here, I've got my calendar open on a separate tab, but rather than flicking between tabs, we can actually click our split screen and click on calendar. And as you can see here, I've got my my to-do blade open on the calendar today, and not on the Outlook, so I can see the emails more clearly. And I could use this to say, oh yeah, November the 18th next week. I can check to figure out whether I'm free or not for that. Quick tip on the calendar here is to look at the view, and you can adjust the time scale. I think the default is 30 minutes, and you tend to see a lot of white space. So I flick that down to 15 minutes. And if we place our cursor in the middle here, we can resize the windows to focus on one or the other. So really nice feature there. If I click out of split view again, and we'll go back in, can have a look at a few more of the options. So obviously if I click on email, now they're the other way around. You'll notice in the windows when you hover there are more options, so we can swap these over. I don't know why, but I much prefer the email on the left and the calendar on the right. We can actually split the screen horizontally. There's a few other features there as well that you can use, and we'll just come back out of that and go back in again. And you can also obviously it's got all the other tabs that I've got open in my groups here, so I can split screen to those. Sorry, yep, split screen, and I can also add websites that I've looked at in the past. So yep, really useful. Okay, let's move on to our training window, which I think should all be in already be in split screen. No, it's not. So let's click on there, and we'll open our OneNote, and we'll open a new tab here, and that's on our training that we've used in a previous example. So let's go to that page, and we'll click on here. We'll just click on the first thing. Okay, introduction, and there we go. I'll then right click, add it to my training group, and we'll go back to personal improvement there, and I'll click my split screen, and then I can open this up, and I can see all my notes from OneNote about this this section, or my MS900 notes. Again, I can put my cursor in the middle, and yeah, I may want to actually collapse the structure there and see a little bit less. Actually, that window, it's more going to be like that, so I can do that. And then I can also right click and use my read aloud function. Okay, so we'll just pause that. So I can listen to it while I'm looking through my notes, and then on the sidebar I've got ChatGPT, so I can now start asking questions about, if I do give me highlights of Azure fundamentals MS. Oops, can't type. Fundamentals the MS-900 course. Correct that typo there and hit go, and it goes off there. I'm not going to get it to do that, but you can see here that now I can copy and paste this into my notes. I've got the web page reading, and it creates a really nice workflow. I can hide this away. Actually, with this, I can get my my previous chats open, and all from the browser. So OneNote, web page. We've got Read Aloud. And we've also got ChatGPT integrated in there as well. And again, if I wanted to, I thought that was really good, and I was going to go and read that on the move, I can write a note to myself, paste that in, and then send that. And when I open Edge on my mobile device, I can then consume that content. So again, another really nice feature. Okay, so far we've used ChatGPT, but we'll minimize that back in. At the top there we've got the Microsoft equivalent, so the Copilot one, and if we want to add further applications in here or little tools, we can do. So I use Wix for my website, so I can pop Wix in there, and there's various different sections on so we've got all the Microsoft bits and pieces, productivity, if you're still a Dropbox user rather than I use OneDrive, we can pop that in there, and yep, we can get lots and lots of different tools there. So I'm not sure if AI will pull much up. Not quite what I was after, but yep, you can do a search on these things and figure out what you need. So Midjourney there, that's a good AI tool. Lots of people use Grammarly. We can add that into, excuse me. And do we have Perplexity is another one I use, but no, they haven't done one yet, so we can't use that one. So well, yeah, I'll carry on using ChatGPT and Copilot 2 is probably enough for me.
Thanks very much for watching today's video. I hope some of those tips were useful and may help you in your day-to-day when you're using your browser. Obviously I focused on Microsoft Edge, but yeah, these features are pretty much the same across the major browsers, so should work pretty much the same on Google Chrome if you use that instead of Microsoft Edge. Let me know in the comments below if you've got any favourite tips and features on when you're using your browser, and if there's any future topics you want me to cover, pop them down in the comment section. Thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.